It's Wild941, wild941.com, Joey Franchise, Poppy Shampoo. Got a nice guest with me, man. New artist on the rise right now, Matt Citron. What's happening, dog?
What's going on, bro?
Yo, not complaining at all. Yo, you actually just released your new project, your debut project on just last night.
Yeah, man. At midnight it dropped. It's called Final Moments of Forever. It's been wild. How much love I'm getting off that right now. It's actually, I think it just hit number 11 on iTunes Hip Hop New Music. So man, it's definitely crazy right now. Feeling so much love.
Oh man, what's it like putting your first project out? Like I was just talking to your man, he was like talking about that, you know, it's like a baby now, you know what I'm saying? Like you're being brought into the world.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I feel like on this project I tried to get so personal and really just tried to, I think I really tried to open the door to what I'm doing right now. You know, really like the first introduction, almost like, you know, I'm meeting somebody and shaking their hand for the first time. And so I feel like for this project, I put so much time and work into it and really just spent a lot of time figuring out how I wanted to come out, you know, and I really tried to just hone in on, you know, getting like a real flavor for me and what I'm doing right out of the bat. And so it's definitely crazy, man. I mean, you know, you spend all this time in your room writing by yourself. You know, you go into the studio, it's just you and your engineer, maybe one of your friends or something like that. But you just are in this pocket in that booth by yourself. And then before you know it, you put it out there and you got thousands of people listening to it. If you're blessed, millions of people listening to it.
Sure. And
so it's, yeah, man, it's a surreal feeling for sure.
And one of the main singles you can find on there is 404.
Yeah, 404 featuring Sahai the Prince and Money Making Neek out of Atlanta, produced by the super talented Justin Padron. That's my boy. And yeah, that Atlanta's definitely taken to that. And also I feel real good about it because it's funny because when I made the song, I was like, oh, yeah, you know, in Atlanta, it's going to do really good because it's an Atlanta song and I wanted to make my city proud of me. But it's really crazy because, like, all around the country, I've been getting love for it, you know, and I'm really shouting out all the major places in Atlanta. And that was my goal, was to really give Atlanta something that everyone could come together on. And so for the fact that people all around the country and really all around the world are coming to me saying that they like what I did on that song, you know, there's not much else I can say about that. Yeah.
And it's good because I feel like it gives it another vibe of Atlanta that nobody really sees too much. And we know, like, Sahai is an amazing lyricist, you know, Team Backpack and all that. And just hearing you on it, like, and I was just talking about this earlier, you know, off the mic, we were just talking about how you're like an Atlanta rapper with a New York flow, which is like a breath of fresh air to me, being from up north.
Yeah.
And tell me about your story. Were you born and raised in Atlanta? I heard your family was originally from New York.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Atlanta. You know, but I think growing up, most of my family is from New York. You know, my mom and dad are both from New York. And so they've kind of got that New York urgency about them, you know, and I think being raised under that. I got a funny story, man. I was probably like in preschool, and I think the teacher called home to my mom and was like, hey, like, I want to tell you something that happened with Matt. Like, I'm like kind of worried about him. She's like, well, what happened? It's like this kid walked over and knocked over his block tower and he thanked him. And she was like, wait, what do you mean? And he was like, he blocked over and he said, oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. And my mom was like, he was being sarcastic. But this like teacher in the South, this preschool teacher in the South had like didn't even really know what sarcasm was. And so It was funny, like at a young age, I was already kind of had that like that New York essence about what I was doing, where it was all sarcastic and, you know, you kind of just like, and everything's, you don't have a lot of time for fluff, you know, and I like the comfort in the South and kind of the slow roll pace, but there's something about when it's time to get business done. I like the way people in the North move, where it's like, you know, and there's certain people in the South that move this way too, right. But it's just like you just cut and dry, you get to the business. Consistent. You feel me?
Like I've had this conversation with many artists over the years. Like they'll go to Atlanta, they'll go to LA, just to kind of vibe. But then when they want to get busy, they come to New York and get things done. So I totally get where you're coming from. It's Matt Citron right here, Wild941, wild941.com with Joey Franchise. Tell me who inspired you, man. How'd you get into music? Yeah,
well, I mean, I've got music in my blood. I got a lot of family members that are musicians or, you know, had to do with music. I really mainly in jazz as well. Like my grandfather, I never got to meet him, but he was a really successful and really talented saxophone player in New York City. Oh, wow. And he was actually out in San Francisco at one point, and the Grateful Dead were like talking to him, asking him to be like the saxophone player in their band. But he said, "Nah, I want to get back to New York City and keep playing jazz."
Jerry Garcia,
you know, man. Exactly. You know, so it's definitely in my blood. But I think so that was already there in terms of just the love for it. Just made sense when I heard music. I was just so impassioned by it, and you know, when I was I would always be the kind of guy that I wouldn't just listen to anything when I was playing basketball, working out. You know, I played college ball. It was like I always had to have like the perfect playlist. I was the one that made the warm-up stuff, you know. So even before I did music, I was doing music, you know. And then once I was like 16, 17, I started freestyling and thought it was the cool. It was like I just fell in love right off the bat and started, you know, writing my raps. But, you know, so I think growing up in Atlanta, though, having guys like, you know, 3 Stacks and Big Boy, you know, T.I., Ludacris, like those are just main guys. But just there's so much of a culture in Atlanta that the music and the basketball share. And so being around that was really dope for me. And, you know, I definitely also took influence from the guys in New York, you know, like the Jay-Z's, the Nas, Dipset, Busta Rhymes, exactly, you know, and so and that came from, I think, the mentality I had kind of lined up with those guys a good amount as well, because, you know, they're from New York, and it doesn't matter if you were born on, you know, South Shore, Long Island, or Manhattan, you know, you're gonna have that certain type of vibe and how you think and how you move, and so that was kind of something that I took to with those guys.
You spoke about playing basketball. I mean, dude, you're a tall guy.
Right.
Like, you're probably the tallest rapper I've met. I think the other tall one was like J. Cole or something like that. But J. Cole, I didn't even play ball like the way you did. You're playing collegiate.
Yeah.
When did it, you know, where'd you go? First of all, where'd you go to school? And when did you decide, yo, like, I'm not going to pursue these hoop dreams. I want to become an artist?
Well, yeah, I mean, my whole life I was the kind of guy that like I would wake up at like 4:30 in the morning to get to school like 5:30 so I could like you know, work out before the guys that were even getting to school early to work out. You know, I wanted to be the first one in there, and also after practice I wanted to be the last one that left, you know. And so my whole life revolved around basketball. I remember the girls I used to date in high school they would always give me such a hard time because they'd be like, they'd be like, oh, you're just married to basketball. That's your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Married to the game. And it was always a running joke, but like I had no time for nothing in my life but that. And so that was my whole life. And then when I got to college, I'd already started freestyling as like kind of something that I enjoyed. But then after my freshman year, I went to this small school in South Carolina and just wasn't a fit for me. And I started to realize like organized college basketball just has so much like, it's not like glitz and glamour. People watch it on TV and they see these guys like shining, but they don't see like the fact that, man, this is like it's grueling. Like you got to go in, you know, wake up, you got to do schoolwork, you got to have all this pressure on you to, you know, by the coaches, and it's just like it's not what people see, you know. And so for me, it's like and you could ask almost any college athlete, period, and they're gonna tell you the same thing. They're gonna be like, it's not real. Like what you see and what they promise you before you get there is not what it is. That's and so for me, it was like, I just getting into that whole like racket of being that. I was like the love for the game. Like I still play pickup. I still play with my boys
still
and
nice
stuff.
Jump shots.
Exactly.
Still
you know.
wet.
Yeah. You know. So like I go out but for me, just the basketball in terms of organized college ball, I fell out of love with it. You know, and then I was developing myself as an artist. You know, I realized my whole life I had never given to that artist side of me, and so. After my freshman year, I transferred out of that small school in South Carolina. Then I went up to Adelphi University in New York, and that's really where I kind of think I found my home as an artist. You know, where I found myself as an artist. I was spending time being in the element of that. I even actually, when I went up there, I was an acting major, and it was funny because the reason I did that, I took an acting class my first year in South Carolina, and I enjoyed it, but it was really because I was like, man, I was not trying to take any more real classes anymore. Like, and not to say that stuff isn't real. Like, it's a lot of work that gets put into it, but I enjoyed it because I was getting to grow as an artist and grow as a musician. There was a lot of musicians in the program, and so I was finding myself more and more. And so I think that's when I realized I'm not even trying to be a basketball player anymore. You know, I was still on full scholarship for basketball, but it's like, this is my path. And to have all the guys on the team and all the people at the school be like, yo, man, you're really doing this. Like you know, they were playing my songs in the bars around the school, you know, and so just feeling that love, I was like, okay, I really got something here, you know. And then I stepped away a semester after like my junior year, yeah. So a year and a half into being up there in New York, I stepped away and I left a full scholarship on the table. A lot of people thought I was crazy. Went back down to Atlanta and just got in my bag and started working on the music, and now things are rolling. So.
That's a hell of a story, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy how everything's coming to fruition right now for you. And one of the things that caught my eye about you was actually the video. You were bold and you held it down. The Tabasco Flows, man, rapping over Jay Electronica, Just Blaze beat.
Yeah.
What made you choose that? You know what I mean? Was that just like basically your show improve moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think that like, it's kind of like the new kid that walks in the gym and you don't want to just I didn't want to play one-on-one against like the other freshmen on the team. I didn't want to play one-on-one against the sixth man, like, against like I want to play one-on-one against the star player and show the coach, so everybody else on the team, everybody in the whole city, in the whole gym, like I can take you on, like, and I'm gonna show you that. And so it was like I wanted to be compared, because in my opinion, that Jay Electronica over Exhibit C is probably one of the best verses, one of the best full blown out raps I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah. Right.
And I think a lot of people in hip hop would agree with that.
Fact.
And so it's like, let me measure myself up against one of the greatest performances I've ever seen, and then people might be like, because I mean I got so much positive reception from that. I was like, okay, now that I show you I'm a competitor, now I'm gonna show you like now I'm about to go out and compete. So that was what I wanted to do with that.
That's cool. Do you see yourself hopefully working with Jay Elect?
I mean,
down the road. Man, I mean, that's like that man never steps out.
If he steps out and blesses me with a verse, that would be very special.
Who is the people? I know you're fairly new, and I know you've been a fan of music. Yeah. And obviously have a music background. Who are some people that you actually would want to work with down the road in the future? Really
want to work with, man. I want to work with Outkast so bad, and like I want to do a song with Big Boy. Obviously, I know him through I'm really close to Greg Street, so he introduced me to him, and yeah, exactly, and Andre is someone that obviously I've looked up to my entire life, not before I even made music, someone, and so I want to work with them so badly. And then also I really just want to, I've been saying this as going around just to people I've met, I really want to make a project with all the upcoming artists coming out of Atlanta. Because there's so many guys. That's cool. You said that like, my flow is something a little different from what's going on in Atlanta. But like what I'm doing is there's a lot of guys that are bubbling up and coming up that people don't know about outside of the city, that are really, really, really spitting, and not even just the kind of thing where it's like, because I hate to just take it to be like, oh man, they can rap, they can like, they can spit. It's like, it's bigger than that. Like they're making real music where they're saying something, quality sounds, quality singing, quality rapping, like really, really dope stuff. And there's a lot of great stuff coming out of Atlanta that people around the country do know about. But I'm just saying there's this pocket that's bubbling that people are starting to get real excited about. Guys like Forte Bowie, guys like Money Making Neek, guys like Robo Lou, Mikey Aristotle. These are all names that the world might not know yet, but I promise you, as we start pushing, people are going to find out who these people are. Yeah.
Now, with that, and once again, for the new project is out, what do you want people to leave with after they're done listening to this project?
Right. Honestly, I think that I spent so much time like just by myself after I left school. It was almost like a whole year, and just locking in, and all my friends are all around the country, and I really wanted to I'd focused in so much on like how to introduce myself to people. And so really I want people to walk away from it feeling like they just met me and had a great conversation with me. And they walk away from like, wow, like that was cool, man. I feel like I'm starting to get to know this guy, and for them to want to come back and keep talking to me, and I want to talk right back to them. I try to make as big of a push as possible that I'm communicating with the people that are receiving my communication and communicating back to me. I told somebody today, I told my boy Ethan today, I said, yo, I feel blessed that I was talking into the world, and now the world's talking back to me. And so for me, what I want people to come away with, I want people to come away feeling like they're starting to get to know me, and for them, obviously everyone takes away something different. I think what's amazing so far, it's only a few hours it's been out, but I've had so many different people hit me up saying like, there's 10 songs on the project, and almost all of them, someone has told me this is my favorite song. This is my favorite song. So it's like, for people, because it's not just like one song everyone's gravitating to. It's like, I like this song, I like that song. And for me, that's so special to me, because each song represents something very, 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 very personal to me. And so for them, it's like they connected with that thing because maybe they're going through something like that. Or so, yeah, I want them to come away feeling like they're getting to know Matt Citron. I want to be someone that people get to know not just like an artist on a pedestal that's wearing crazy hats and crazy sunglasses.
Right.
Someone they feel like they can sit down and have a drink with. Someone they feel like they can go out with. Someone they feel like they could like kick it with on a Saturday, you know? And so
damn, I want to grab a drink right now. What's up?
Yeah, man, let's get it, bro. It's never too early to chop it up over a brewski. You feel me?
Never, man. I'm a Yingling man myself.
There you go. There you go.
Now I gotta ask you, man. I know you're doing this tour. You're on tour right now. What's it like now, like being away from home and actually touching these stages and seeing, performing for the people?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I think that I'm really soaking in this time where I'm getting to go up in front of people and people are finding out about me while I'm on stage, and I think that I'm really trying to soak that in because there's a certain time when you're going on tours that they already know who you are and they already know all the words to your songs. So I'm going up there and I'm trying to look everybody in the eye, and if I can get them to nod their head or jump around with me, it's amazing. So and it's funny because it's a lot like traveling around the country with basketball. We were going around, stopping at every city. You kick it in a hotel, go do your thing, back on the road, 6 hours, 7 hours, 2 hours, however long it is. But I think that being away from home, it's cool to me, man, because everywhere I'm going, I feel like I'm spreading my home. I'm in Atlanta, and I get to talk to everybody and show them how much we have to offer and how much the city means to me. And now they're starting to get more of a dialogue about what's going on there. And so, and there's so much love from people that are back home, even around the country. I think that I always say that for me, home is wherever I felt, like a deep, passionate love or connection. So it's with people or places that touched on me in some way. And so I'm getting to spread that story around. And for me, I'm living a dream right now. It was crazy because we were in Minneapolis 2 days ago, and I had like water that I was drinking freezing on my face. 2 days later, I'm in Tampa, and there's pelicans flying around. And I was like, wow, like I just took like an 80-degree difference, and like my music took me that distance.
That's insane.
Yeah, so I feel very blessed right now.
It's a great feeling, man. Like, one time, man, Matt, let everybody know where they can find the project. Dog.
Yeah. Definitely. So, I just dropped, it's Matt Citron, just dropped a new project, Final Moments of Forever. It's out everywhere on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you can find it. And you can follow me and check in on all the posts. You can follow me at Matt Citron MTZ. That's MATTCITRON MTZ. And you know what? Matter of fact, for the 20th follower that follows me, I'm going to throw out one of these Matt Citron hoodies. I'm going to give you that for free.
Damn.
So I'm checking in on it. So listen, follow me, Matt Citron MTZ. That's MATTCITRON MTZ. And listen, I'm gonna lace you up, that 20th follower.
I need a hoodie too.
I got you, bro. We got him. We're going to make it happen. You already know you brought me through here. Feel very, very appreciative of this opportunity, man.
And I appreciate you for stopping by, man. Matt Citron. It's Wild 94.1, Joey Franchise.